is so funny.
Welcome to the hottest marriage show known to man. We will discuss parenting, relationships, religion, careers, health, and anything else that can fall under. We want to give uncommon conversations the light to help relationships to flourish through naked truths. Come walk with us as we get naked. Good morning, my love. How are you doing?
Sorry, I had to get that out. I'm doing well.
That's awesome. So what did you think of that walk this morning?
It was crispy outside.
Really crispy.
It was really crispy, but it was beautiful. The sun and it's the blue sky. So
That, you know what's so crazy? I remember some episodes ago we were talking about the gloom was here. And,
oh yeah.
And Michigan is saying not really.
No.
But it is nippy outside. But the reason why I talked about this weather because I wanted to see how many parents or guardians have problems with their teens feeling like they're invincible with the weather. And those who live in Michigan or any northern states or the East Coast that experiences cold, brisk weather, do they go outside with no coats? Because the wife and I experienced this morning. Now, mind you, I'm trying not to be this overbearing father that whatever I say goes, because I don't know if y'all know, in a few episodes ago, I told my wife that I wanted the kids to feel like they can come up and talk to me. So my nephew has on a hoodie. Now I said 40 degrees. My daughter comes walking. She has on this purple jacket. And I said, Darius, put on a coat. What's wrong with you, man? It's 40 degrees outside. So he's putting on the coat. And then in my head, I'm like, you know what? Don't worry about it.
No, that's not how you said it.
It's not?
Yeah.
What did I say?
So Jai was like, put on a coat. So he's about to put on. He was like, no, you know what? No, you go outside without a coat. And then you just, it's like, because you going to learn. So it wasn't like, you know what, go ahead, do whatever you go. No, John was saying it like.
The way that I remembered it.
You want to go out and be a dummy.
Well, I was like, you know what? I said experience needs to be the best teacher.
He said that later. The way he sent that child out was like, go on to be a dummy. And so, you know me, I was like, all right, we love you. Have a great day. Have a great day. Because this is my thing. Okay, you step outside the door and you can feel the weather. It's nothing to come in a few steps and come get your coat if it's too cold out. So Day had on 3 layers. She had on a shirt, a sweatshirt. Then she had on her jacket, which is like.
It looked like a raincoat.
It didn't look like a raincoat. It's like a fatigue jacket, like, you know, that heavy cargo material, but it's still a jacket. It's not a coat.
Correct.
At all. And so, but Day has a reason. Day don't want to wear a coat because she doesn't want to have to put anything in the locker because she hates trying to open her locker. That's why she did that. Darius, he didn't want to wear a coat because Darius wants people to see his sweatshirt.
Yeah. You know, I'm gonna tell you.
Are you willing to be cold for people to see? Everybody gonna see this fit.
Yeah.
Everybody gonna see, and it's just a plain sweatshirt.
Like when I say that it's a yellow hoodie,
and that's all. That's all.
There's nothing special about it. It doesn't cost remarkable amounts of money.
It doesn't. But it's new.
He wants to be seen in this sweatshirt.
And I mean, at all costs. And so when it first started getting cold, we went and bought those winter coats, and he was wearing that winter coat because it was new and he wanted it to be seen. Yeah. So now it's the sweatshirt. He wants the sweatshirt to be seen. But not only that, he went out in, what are them things called? Crocs?
Oh, yeah. He
went out in Crocs, dude. Like, I said, okay, it's holes in these shoes. Like, it's cold outside.
So this is what I've recognized with my nephew, that he's definitely an example of who I used to be, because I have these ideas that, like, he's definitely not poor when it comes to materials, but mentally he's poor because, you know, I guess, you know, when you grow up in in an environment that requires a little more balance, he was missing some areas, and the insecurities built. So he likes things to make up for things that he doesn't have. And the reason why I can recognize this because it looks like me when I was younger, and watching him not realize that he doesn't have to be like that anymore. Because I'm telling you, this brother wants to be seen. He wants to be accepted. He has a really big heart, but what comes out of his mouth sounds like, "Get your ass back."
He's something else. But yeah, he so they went out in the cold. Now she also wore her her gloves because she said, you know, her hands get cold, so she wore her gloves. So John goes to take Dallas to school. John drives Dallas to school. Look, usually I watch them out the window. I didn't even get the blinds open fast enough. They were running. And so I'm like, okay, they're running. It must be cold out. So I don't know if y'all do this, but I always turn on the heat and the defrost and all of that stuff. I turn it on before I turn the car off so that if you run the car in the morning, it defrosts the car for you. And the car is already hot, right? So John's thinking it's 40 degrees. So he doesn't start the car up. Yeah, it's not like it's frost on the grass outside. So I see him go in the trunk and he pulls out the scraper to scrape the windshield or what have you. And I'm like, those kids had to have been cold outside.
Yes.
And they didn't come in to get a cold.
And look, so I take Dallas to school and I tell Dallas the story about Darius going without a coat and Day with this light jacket. And he looked at me like, y'all let them go out. No, he said, you let them go outside like that? And I was like, look, this dude, who are you talking to?
Dallas got a hoodie and a fleece on. What is he even talking about?
But he knows I drive him to school, so it's a different.
He don't stand at a
but
bus
he
stop.
he was talking to me like, as if I was a child. And you know what I did? I said, your mother was right there.
That lets you know who Dallas is as the child in the house. He was like, what kind of...
But I need you guys to know my perspective. Like I was trying to explain it earlier.
He gets tired of being the
bad guy. Like I just want an effective message that is firm, but it's respectable and they know I love them. I don't want to sound like, you're doing this and you're effing up. And, you know, I don't typically sound like that, but it sounds like that the way they receive it. And when I heard him talk to me like that, I'm like, am I the adult or, you know, but, you know, at the end of the day, I'm still learning. And I told him, I was like, look, I can't teach all the lessons. Sometimes experience is going to be better than the lessons I can teach. And I felt like they won't die today, but if it's as cold as we think, hopefully they will listen to the experience versus.
And what I want you to remember above all is your mother was sitting right there and watched them walk out the door as well.
And you know, that was so petty on me.
It was. See, I'm under the bus.
And you know, I just want you to know, like, I have an insecure thing in this parenting thing. Like, I know that what I'm really good in, right? But the things that she's good in, I'm so far behind. It's like I have to hate on her just so they can see that she's still human. Because to me, I purposely engage with my kids in so many different things, right? But no matter what I do, I'm still behind when it comes to that important conversation I want to have with my parents. I'm only going to talk to my mother. My mother will relay the message to my father. That'll filter it out by the time I get it. It'll be good by then.
Well, what I've noticed though is whenever you talk to the kids about something, your first response is usually, why did you do that? Why did you do that? Why did you say that? Why did you? And I don't do that. So when they do stuff, I'm like, okay, so how did you feel about that? Or that sounds rough. Or so what's next? Or like, okay, so.
Well, I ask why you do that because I want to have the perspective they have. So maybe it'll reduce my anger.
No, but the way you say it, you say it like, that was the dumbest thing anybody could have done. Why did you do that? You're like, oh. And my thing is like, just let it be about no judgment. Okay, so that was rough. So what are you going to do now? Or do you understand why that probably wasn't the best decision? But it's never, if you started off like, hey, dummy, why did you do that? Then it's like, I already knew it was a bad situation. And it's more agonizing. I'm like, I'm going to recognize that you already, if you're coming to me, either you know it's a bad situation and you need help in navigating it, and you see it coming and you need help navigating it, or it already happened and you need to be able to fix it. And so, okay, so let me know what do you feel you need to do, or how do you feel about that? First of all, do you think it was a good thing or a bad thing? Because it could be that, you know, it happened. Maybe they had an interaction with somebody and they don't understand why it was a problem, but the other person react. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, okay, well, dang. Well, let me know what were we trying to do about it? What happened?
I need to put a mental Post-it note. Okay, so this is what I tried to do yesterday. Just thinking about what you said. Like, I do say that.
Why did you do that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I say it with, you better say the right thing next.
Yeah. And then we got kids that don't really process the message very quickly. And so then it's like the added pressure of tone and pitch of, oh my God. So now, not only am I worried about this situation, now I'm worried about how am I going to respond to him and him not fly off the handle.
Yeah. And you know,
insert mother here.
I know. You know, that just happened this morning too. And you know, that was with the, I don't know, but I knew that you felt a certain type of way, and Darius threw you under the bus.
Oh my God. So wait, y'all. So they asked a simple question. She was putting her dishes up from breakfast. She was putting it in the dishwasher, and 2 of the dishes in the dishwasher look clean. So she was like, are these dishes in here clean? Because I'm trying to put my bowl in here. So John immediately jumps on her job of emptying the dishwasher is over for the month of October. It's somebody else's responsibility in November.
Now, hold on. While she's saying that, that's me jumping in, not knowing what's going on.
So he was like, Day, you don't even have to worry about it because that's not even your job. Like, taking out the dishes, not your job. And I was like, okay, so it's dirty. Is it? I said, Day, the dishes are dirty. You just go ahead and put it in there. And so I look at him and I said, all she was saying was, I see dishes in here that may be clean and I don't want to put dirty dishes in here. Are these dishes supposed to be dirty?
Now, mind
so
you,
that
when
she's not putting dirty dishes into a clean dishwasher.
When she's saying this in my head, I'm like, shh, please. Like, I get it now, but I've already embarrassed myself, right? So like, this is going on in my head, and I'm like,
so John is on my left and Day and Darius are on my right. Day has done what she needed to do. So I turn my head to my right where Darius can see me, but I'm not paying attention.
But I said something to you for you to do that.
Yeah. And
I can't remember
and
what
I bugged my eyes out because I was like, golly, it's like
it was not that guy. That godly is not the godly she gave.
I didn't say the words.
No, I know,
it was just my eyeballs were like, what? And then what did Darius say?
Time out. I just need people to know that golly, when you said that doesn't look like a nasty face.
I didn't make a nasty face.
You said a face when somebody says, don't make that face, auntie.
It was because, that's what he said. So because my eyes were looking like, dang, it wasn't even that deep.
It was not.
Chill out. And so when I turned, and that was what my face looked like golly, it wasn't even that deep. And like, you going too far. Darius, don't make that face, auntie.
And now, mind you, I could not see her face.
Hey, I wanted to punch a 14-year-old.
And you know what? And that's what sent me over the edge. And I said something, I don't know, but I knew that her energy had changed, right? But the face, I would have never got if Darius did not say anything. And that caused me to say something. So I go to the back, right? Now, I'm in the back and I'm like, how did this happen so early? Now, mind you, I'm really like pissed because I'm making something so simple and like, I'm really trying to be this person. So I'm like, what happened to me? What triggered me to start this day off like this? So I realized at that point that whenever I like respond, it has something to do with the way that I think things are supposed to be presented. I've seen it this way, and I've done it so long that I'm trying to remove it. So when I realize that I am again the problem in this chaos in our household, I'm coming back to the front now. Mind you, in my head, I'm about to like just tell my wife that I'm sorry, right? But when I tell you, when I look at her face, she had already moved on. Like it wasn't no problem. And all of this is in me, like, and I'm like, God dang, how do I end up in this all the time? And like now we're having these conversations about what I can do to not, like I'm telling, the only reason the house is in chaos is normally when I open my mouth. And typically when I open my mouth is because something is out of order, or things I feel like it would operate better if it was done a certain way. And typically the person that is responsible for destroying that is her, my wife, because she does things so well. She feel like she can do them in a way and model a certain behavior and everybody just pick up. She does things too well. And I'm like, no, this isn't good enough in my mind. So if I see something out of order, I feel like she should know better. But, you know, she flows like water. It doesn't bother her. And I don't know how to flow like water yet.
Yeah, John is like a barking orders person. And I'm like, you know, watch what I do and get a little bit of guidance along the way. But you know, it might work for some kids. It might not. I think that with ours, for different reasons, it just works better to kind of guide. And thankfully, Day definitely lets things just roll off her back. So even if John says something like, why did you, generally, she's able to recover easily. She'll be like, oh, you know, it goes over her head. Or you know, if you apologize, then she's like, oh, okay. She's very forgiving. Dallas, he feels all of it in his spirit. And
you can see it immediately.
Yeah. He's
like a deer in headlights.
Oh my goodness. His eyes will well up so quickly too, because it's never his intention to disappoint. He's usually like one of the kids you praise for just being a great kid. And so if he thinks that he's disappointed you, like, oh, and he has the capability of, Dallas will cry, and I know the cry he has, because I'm like, your chest hurts, doesn't it? Your chest hurts, your face, and he'll be like, yes. He feels it all in his spirit. Day, if you make Day cry, that means you are truly a monster. Mm-hmm. Because she would definitely be hurt. She would definitely want an apology from you. But if you can make her cry, then you've gone entirely too far. Everybody need to shut all the shit down and figure it out, because then you know you've gone too far. Darius, I think that he has learned how to be hardened and let things go, but he's really, really a soft person in his heart. Mm-hmm. So if you give him the space to make him feel like he can express his feelings and he can let his feelings out, you're going to get tears out of him too.
For sure.
So we got a lot going on with these three. They're very different, but I feel like speaking calmly, slowly, and not slowly like they're dumb, but just not making it feel like everything is going so fast. They like got to hurry up and cadence, answer. I got to answer fast because all this stuff is going fast. Like when you say stuff and you're like, why did you do that? And then when they start answering, you cut them off and you start another question.
I know. I'm horrible at that too.
That we don't have children that
First of all,
operate well with that.
I don't even operate that well with that. And to me, I'm still disturbed. I'm trying to figure out how can I become more conscious of that happening, because what I realize this too, Darius's progress is going to be, what is it? Affected by my progress.
Yeah.
And I need to figure it out, because I'm telling him what to do and he's watching as I do. You know what I'm saying? So I need to fix this and nip it in the bud, because I'm telling you honestly, it, you know, when you say like in your soul, like it hurts me that I have these great kids, I have this beautiful woman, and I have habits or unsettled emotions or problems within me that I give it to them through a response, because I know that nobody deserves to be spoken like that at any level. And for that to come out, it's like, what did they say that could make me speak to them as if they're the reason why I'm talking that way? And it's very tough, like at this point, because I feel like that's the major, not dilemma, the major problem in my life right now. Is just my response time and how it sounds when it comes out.
And I think the other thing is, like when we were talking about before, about if I make you upset, then you take it out on everybody in the house. So when you came back, I was like, did I do anything? Is everything all right? Because they really don't deserve it. They don't deserve that to feel the way that they do. And I know you're working on it. And I know that they can see. I don't know if they know what you're working on, but I know that they're going to benefit from your diligence. So I appreciate it. But I also recognize that even I want to make sure that I'm not triggering you and then they get the fallout.
Oh, no, definitely. There are things that you do to trigger it, but I've recognized that the only way that it won't be triggered is if you and I have a conversation, because I know that you're not doing it on purpose. So the problem is with that is being able to talk to you without making it seem like I know you're doing it on purpose.
Yeah, that's that. That's that. The world is not trying to bother you specifically and individually, John.
I know, and I'm like, she knows better, and I'm like, so in my mind, I'm like, well, she doesn't know better because she wouldn't do it, and like, you've convinced yourself. Now, how can you say this without making it seem like, hey, we all make mistakes. Can you take care of this one? Like, and it's like, I don't know how to, sometimes I don't know how to do that.
Yeah. I think that one of your things with me is realizing that when I'm doing stuff, I'm really not doing it as directed toward you.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. And to me, I feel like, there's a level of priority, I guess. And I guess, you know what? Remember the expecting them or expecting you and them.
Okay.
Like certain things that I feel like I would do.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I'm not you. So
you're
I'm not
right,
gonna
but
do it like that, yeah.
No, but it's not about that either. It's about, like, you would probably do it if you knew that would probably make me happy. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you like, I'm not doing this because I don't want him to be happy.
Oh yeah, no.
That's what I'm saying. So I have to get the negative, pessimistic view that when I'm hurt, that somebody had the view that I would have if I would have done that to them. Like, I know if I do this to them, this is how I would feel. Like, so I'm like, I can't put my energy in you. So that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to figure out how I could be better at that, because for the most part, I will say this: every single day is great. When I have those moments, they don't trip me up for the whole day. They do trip me up for maybe, I don't know, I guess it just depends on how fast I'm willing to accept that I was wrong.
Well, today I think you had a quick recovery.
Oh yeah. I mean, well, I didn't want them to leave out the house with, with that energy.
That bad energy.
They didn't deserve that at all. So, yeah, I'm trying. Yeah, it sucks because I feel like if it's any type of skill set I wish I had, I wish I was able to talk without reflecting the negative part of my emotions. Like if somebody says something to me and then try to hurt my feelings, and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry you feel that way."
Yeah, I feel like that's I feel like there's a human side of you though. If somebody's really trying to push you, you want to come back and be all extra nice every time. I don't really know about that.
Well, that's what I want to do though, because I feel like I didn't purposely ruin their day, and I am supposed to make it. I don't want to make it worse. So you're telling me that you feel a certain type of way because of my energy. I need to fix it.
No, but sometimes, well, I guess in this situation, I understand what you mean. Yeah. I was just thinking like if it were someone else and it really wasn't about you, it was something else.
Oh yeah,
and they just brought their energy on you. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, well, it sounds like you've been having a hard day, man.
Why not?
Because don't come messing up my. What did Tab say? She said, "Look, you have a good day, and if you don't dare go mess up nobody else's.
You ruin people's days.
I don't be ruining people's.
You don't do it on purpose, but you do.
Whose day do I ruin?
The people that you curse out when they cut you off.
They don't know I'm cussing them out.
Girl, you show them that you're cussing them out.
So one time, y'all, homecoming, we go to tailgate or whatever, and so. It's hard to park on campus, right? So we find a place where we're about to park. We're in the right lane. We're about to turn into the parking lot. And this truck of young gentlemen pull up in the left lane and they kind of turn into the right lane like they're going to turn into this parking lot before us, right? So I rolled down the window and I said, what the fuck? Like, I didn't say it nicely. I said it loud and I said it like real, yeah. And so then the guy kind of looked at me. He looked at his friend, and then they backed up and they drove down the street. Exactly. Like, yeah. So sometimes I do have some ragey types of behavior. However, in most cases, I'm cussing in my car. Listen, so they don't know that I'm cussing. I just want y'all and I don't even do that anymore as much.
She just did that 3 weeks ago. What are you talking about?
Okay, but that was just one time. Like,
you don't drive, and no, stop it. She's so full of it. Anyways, see, this is why it's not like. So check this out. I'm gonna tell you why.
But when I do drive, I'm real chill though now.
Watch this angry black woman. Yeah, that's a key one right there. Check this out, dude. What if these guys got out the truck and said, what the you gonna do now? So what am I supposed to do as a man? Because I want you to understand this. This is the part that I was thinking, like when this was going on, like, now she did not roll no window down. The windows were down. And mind you, I see this truck.
I didn't roll the window down.
Listen, you did not roll the window down because when you saw the truck, you just went like this. What the? Because I'm watching the dudes.
So we can ask Darius. I rolled the window
look,
down.
Check this out.
That's why the dude heard me.
How about
you
this?
telling me he heard me through the window?
Meaningless facts.
Okay.
I said the window was down.
Okay. The window was already down. Okay, got it.
My point is, I had everything under control. I could see these guys. I see the whole situation. She didn't ask me anything.
No, it was really an
You're not going to let me finish?
I'm just saying
no, let me
really
finish though.
Impulsive
no,
moment.
It has nothing to do with you. I'm just saying in my mind, I see everything that's going on. I see these guys in front of me and I can see why they may think that I may not be turning into the parking lot. But she doesn't because she's not in my head. Anyways, so I see this. Now, mind you, when they cut in front, she says, what the fuck? Like, I mean, at a really loud, and I looked at her like, who the fuck you talking? Like, why? so I look up and I see the guys, they look back, they some young guys, right? And they end up driving off. But if these young guys decided to get out the truck, what was I supposed to do?
I wasn't really running past those thoughts at the time.
That's my point.
That's why I'm saying it was truly in it. But
no, this is regular.
Let me just tell you.
This is regular behavior. I don't check this out
on the regular. No, listen, Linda. So look, I don't really yell out of cars and ask people what the fuck when we're riding down the street. I don't. But I was kind of triggered. There were a number of things. Number one, and I don't want to bring race into this, but I am going to. Number one, we already talked about, we've talked about implicit bias before. I had already made assumptions about these people. Number one, they were young guys, young white guys on a predominantly white campus. We were looking for parking. I know that they want to party and have them a good time. I already made the assumption that that was what they wanted to do. I made the assumption that they felt a sense of privilege and ability because they had a larger truck. They felt this sense of privilege and ability that they would take over and there wouldn't be any speaking on it or anybody. And I've had a number of instances where people kind of assume that they can kind of get their way and nobody says anything and they don't learn from that.
Not with me.
Okay. Well, what I'm saying to you is it was those things, all of it. And as soon as they did it, and when the guy looked out of the window and just smiled at us, it sent me over the edge. So I wasn't thinking about you. I wasn't, and it wasn't like the guy smiled at us. He could have been laughing at his friend and just happened to turn his face. I'm telling you like this. There were a number of things that were flying through my head at warp speed. And I was like, what the? And then he wants to know what he was expected to do. I'm telling y'all, I did not think that far in that moment because I was so triggered by all of these different assumptions that had flown through my head when I was looking at this situation. And we had been riding around looking for these parking spaces. We already didn't know where we were really walking to get to this tailgate. It was just, I was not in the mood. And I'm going to give you another example. So we went to a circus in Atlanta years and years ago with our kids. It was cold outside. We had stood in this long ass line, and these two people walk up, these two white people, and they walk past all these people in the line, and they kind of just looked at us and they said, hey, you mind? And then they just kind of stood next to us in the line. And the people behind us were looking like, and the people in front of us, they wasn't saying nothing too. And John was just standing there and we weren't saying anything. And I was like, what happened? I can't even remember if I was mad and was quiet and maybe that's why it's in my head still, or if we said actually no, because the people behind us were looking like, wait, we all been waiting in this line for forever.
So am I supposed to say something?
Yeah, because I can't remember what happened. Do you remember what happened?
So if I can be completely honest, she used this, she said this story to me. I do not remember it, but I don't remember it. And this is the thing that I have with it. Whatever she uses this as prior information for her to feel like I was going to let these guys in front of me made me feel like she don't know who her husband is. And when I say that, she knows that she don't know anybody who's got in more fights than me.
Well,
that didn't cross her mind. No, this is what I'm saying. So my point is, it's like there's a level of security that I don't provide for you. Think what I'm saying. Like, for you to say, what the F, all your experiences, you didn't feel like I had it under control. You know what?
That's a fair statement, John.
Oh, and I know.
But it wasn't my intention.
I totally believe that too.
Let me say it like this though. New evolved John. See, the way that you're like, if somebody it comes at you a certain way, you want to be the person to be like, oh, I'm sorry that you feel that way. But I've always been the one that's, even though John has been in a lot of fights, things that happen like when our daughter was being bullied in school, like I'm immediately set on fire and ready. And John would be like, hold on. And so even the fighting John, I've never seen the fighting John in person, although I know that he existed. But this guy right here is real. He wants to be really chill and non-confrontational. And sometimes I feel like they must want to fight me. Now, this is me. You had your thing where you feel like everybody's after you. With me, I feel like when people I feel like people are going to try to take advantage of me. So I need to stop them ahead of time. You remember, so when you had started the business, and I was like, you need to do this, and this. You need paperwork. You need stuff in writing. And you're like, no, I don't really do. And I said, John, because I always anticipate that someone is going to try to take advantage of me, and I'm going to stop it before they even get the wrong idea.
Oh, look, I don't want to disagree with you on that.
Yes. And because in our past, I've seen it and I have been concerned about it, and you have brushed it off, and then things happen exactly the way I think it is, I automatically feel like I'm the one that has to fight.
So what is that got to do with the presentation of a disagreement? Like, what the fuck is different from like, excuse me, we're here.
I could have done that. But I think that there were other layering factors. I think that it was privilege.
I get it, but I'm focusing this on me.
Yeah. So my thing about you is this. It's interesting that you said that you feel like you're not providing a certain level of security for me where I feel like I need to do that. However, I also come from situations in which I've had to advocate for myself regardless of who's around me. And so
we've been married for 13 years.
I know, but old habits die hard. And when it comes down to it, like I said, in those moments, like the bullying situation at school, and you were like really like, oh, well, blah, blah, blah.
Because there's a more appropriate way to do it. That's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah, but I feel like I had gone through the proper channels. I had talked today. I had talked to the counselor. I had talked to the teacher.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
Yeah, and it continued. And so I was getting ramped up. And so in that instance, even though you were still like, no, we've been at this school for 2 years. I already dealt with them the first time, and I had to get ramped up with them. And then the second year, when it started up again, I was like, we ain't doing that again. We're not doing that again. And so, y'all, I might take things a little too far. I might. But I feel like I want people to understand that I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, you know that I'm here and I want you. I don't want any misconception about how unpleased I am with your behavior and your decision right now. So you need to make a choice about what you're doing. Now, whether or not, like I'm telling you, like I said, I really, really just let my emotions fly. And when I say 0.25 seconds, I immediately responded. I didn't care about who was in the car with me. I didn't care about, I wasn't functioning the whole, processing the whole idea of security or what John was going to do or what John saw or what John was playing. It was all me. I don't like when people try to take advantage of me or my family. And I've already told you before, when people try to take advantage of you.
Oh, I know.
I don't
know
like
who you
that.
are.
Yes,
but
exactly.
My point is, like the whole thing, I'm just saying, I wonder what type of behaviors do I need to possess for you to feel like that won't ever happen again? Because I haven't done anything to prevent that behavior from happening again.
I think that, I don't know. It's just something about, I need to slow down, but I feel like you don't take things, you allow people to take advantage of you. Even
what if they had guns? What if they had guns?
I get that part.
That's what I'm saying.
I was talking about in general. So we're just talking about this moment.
That's what. So
okay.
To me,
I got you.
Okay, so
I fully recognize and accept that I was wrong, and I apologize.
So why are you using other instances as if those instances gave you a reason to believe that this is the time where what the F was going to work?
Right. No, it was. What I feel like is that it was just my natural response, because I feel like when people are trying to take advantage of me, I need to respond, and I need to respond big, because I don't want to be seen as maybe we can get by on this.
Next to your husband.
Yeah, but I wasn't processing that. I already told you. It wasn't about like whether it was you in the car or it was just me in the car. I was going to respond the exact same way.
No, I'm just saying there is a position in my life that I could have had where that would have never happened. I could have handled myself at some point in our previous 13 years in a way that you would have never responded that way.
I think, and that brings me back to what I was saying before when you cut me off and you said, what if they had guns? What I was trying to say to you is, historically, you let people take advantage of you. You don't stop it. And I feel like in that moment, I felt like they were going to take advantage of that. Wait, I'm not done.
I didn't even say
you set the mic up like you was about to go.
Don't do that.
But listen,
don't do that.
So
that's not fair because I won't even I can get comfortable and she's going to create a narration just like she just did right there.
Intention.
No, because I've look, shout out to everybody who's seen the sneak preview of whatever we put out, but the people said that I cut you off, and I do get that, but I was not about to, and she just created something that sounds like that's what I was gonna do.
Yeah, if you would have seen it visually, you probably would have gotten that assumption as well. However, what I'm saying to you is if I find that there are situations where people are going to take advantage of us, and I say, John, they're going to take advantage of us, and then you're like really mild about it, and the situation continues, and then I have to come in and fix it or stop it or whatever, then that teaches me that when I see certain situations, I'm going to be the one that's going to pay attention and feel like it's important. It's important to me. It may not be important to you. And so if I want it to be handled, then I handle it.
Then that's unacceptable because I need you as my wife to say, hey, John, I'm feeling uncomfortable. Will you take care of this? If you think that I am comfortable with allowing you to endanger our family because, listen what I'm saying, as a man, it's uncomfortable and unsettling to hear you say that, if I've seen some behaviors from you, I'm going to feel like I need to step up. Like, there's nothing that you can do to protect this family in that situation.
Okay, but what I'm saying to you is that was a physical that could have been a physical situation. You're correct. But I'm also telling you that I impulsively responded based on history. And when I say based on history, I'm saying my own implicit biases about the people who were doing it and my previous experiences with people trying to take advantage of me. And then add that on to if I feel like somebody's trying to take advantage of me or my children or my husband, and I express it to you, you not seeing the same level of importance.
I guess I need to know what example do you have that you say that I do not, that I've made you feel that way? Then maybe that's what it is. Okay. Because if you can give just one, and so then I'll understand.
Okay.
And you don't even check this out. I don't want to put you on the spot because that's probably unless you have one.
I do.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. So when we got the basement refinished, right, and the guy did not complete the job. And you had paid him the money, and he still didn't complete the job. And I said, John, did you contact him about the ceiling? Like, he didn't finish the ceiling. He didn't finish the door on the bathroom. He left a hole in the wall. He didn't put the crown molding up over on the cement, like all of this stuff. So I said, are you going to talk to him about it? And you said something to him. I feel like you said, I contacted him, but nothing had happened. And so I felt like, and when I said, John, this stuff still needs to be finished, and you said, I'll just look for somebody else. And I said, but did he get all the money though for the job? And you said, yeah, but rather than to even deal with that, I would rather just pay somebody else to complete it. Now, see, this is somebody taking advantage of you.
That's incorrect. That's not how that story went, but okay.
Okay. So when you told me not to worry about it, I ain't have to worry about that stuff. You will handle whatever. So months go by. When you went out of town, it wasn't months?
No, it wasn't.
How long was it?
I don't know, but it wasn't months.
So time went by, true? Time went by. No time went by.
Correct.
Oh, okay. And so, are you getting angry?
I am, because you are not telling the story. Okay, well,
tell the story.
I don't want to tell the story because this is okay. Listen. That story, I get why. I get why you protected me in that. I do get, but that situation, in this situation, to me, is apples and oranges. To me, somebody taking advantage of me for business practices and money, nobody's going to come like mess up my house, endanger my family. So when you say that you are using this as a history of my behavior in situations where you're in danger, it makes me feel like it's cloudy.
No, I never said that I felt I was in danger.
No, I'm saying the way that you're using that situation for this situation to say, I was impulsive because you have led me to believe that you will not protect my family.
No.
Listen what I'm saying, though.
You're adding a whole part of a sentence on
I'm
the end
telling
of
you
that
how I'm taking it.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
That's all I can tell you is how I'm taking it.
But let me explain to you. I specifically said when I feel like someone is going to take advantage. Mm-hmm. Now, like I said, in that moment, I didn't process the idea of there being danger. I processed that we were going to get taken advantage of. Just like in that instance. So when that guy didn't do what he was supposed to do and you were going to let it ride, when he left out of town, I called the guy myself and I said, I need you to come and complete the job. And he was like, oh, I think I can do it, maybe next, I'm really booked up. And I said, did the check clear? And he said, yes. And I said, so John paid you and you didn't finish the job. I said, I want you to come. He's going to be gone all weekend. I want you to come and finish this ceiling. So I left no room for argument in that situation. I even said to him, because he tried to argue, I said, would you do this to white people? And he was like, schedule the appointment. And he came out on that Friday. So my mom calls me because she's watching the kids while I'm at work. And she says, I think that he says that he's all done and all you need to do is vacuum up. So when I come home, there's plaster dried up on the carpet. And he said, oh, all you need to do is vacuum. I said, would you tell them white people after you did the job that you put plaster all over their carpet, all you need to do is vacuum? And I said, see, this is my problem. And I said, I need you to give me a complete job. If he paid you the money and you cashed your check, then you need to come and give him exactly what he asked for. And I want it to be pretty for him. So he comes back on Saturday and he cleans up the plaster. And then that was all there was to it. And when you came home, you were like, oh, da-da-da-da. Now, what I'm saying to you is, in history, I have found that if I feel someone is taking advantage of you, I don't like it. And so I speak up because you, depending on how important you feel it is, you'll be like, I just don't even want to deal with it, blah, blah, blah. And you'll let it go. But my thing is that's not fair to you. You asked him for something. He agreed. You paid him. And then he told you what you could have from what he agreed. And I don't like people treating you like that. I don't let people take advantage of Day in Dallas. I don't let people take advantage of anybody. And so in this instance, someone was about to take advantage of us. And what if that was the last parking spot in there? We would keep driving around, probably have to pay more money. We wouldn't have died. However, but listen to me.
Yeah.
I already said to you, I was thinking about being taken advantage of. I was not thinking about the safety. And that is why I apologize.
And I accepted it. And again,
okay, but then you're telling me to keep worrying about.
No, I'm telling you, as a man, I am trying to figure out how to not make my wife worry about shit she not supposed to worry about. Okay. So as a man, it's very difficult to try to convince your wife that everything's is under control when it's not under control.
So if someone were to walk up and speak to me in a disrespectful manner, I don't have any worries about you handling business for me. I don't have any problem or fear of my physical safety. And that's probably another layer of why I felt comfortable letting all that out of my mouth. Maybe I do physically, I don't feel like I'm unsafe with you. Physically, I know that there's nothing anybody can do to me that you will not handle at all. I don't feel unsafe with you anywhere. However, I feel like in instances of being taken advantage of, I don't feel like you respond like I do.
Correct. And I do agree with that.
And so then that was me filling in the blank, even though I shouldn't have, because safety wise, that was not safe for the people in the car with me. And so I recognize, I acknowledge it, and I apologize. But what I'm saying to you, and I think, I'm so thankful that nothing even happened. However, I would say that shows my confidence in being secure with you, my safety wise. But I felt like he ain't about to take advantage of me and this nice little dude that's sitting next to me that's going to let people just float through the world.
See, that's what I'm saying. I want you guys to know this. The situation that she brought up was 2007. Now, mind you, we just talked about in a recent episode that I was holding something against her in college, and she has this idea of me. Now, mind you, I want you to know that I do want to make the right decisions. I do. I don't want to endanger my family. I have endangered my family enough. Now, my wife has apologized. I get it, but I don't want her to miss the problem that I'm having. I'm not having a problem with her and what she did anymore. The problem I'm having is that I need to ensure that my wife feels like I'm going to take care of whatever situation it is with the least amount of bad things occurring.
Yeah, but I feel like there's also, I've always said, it's a certain level of paranoia with me where I am always looking out to make sure nobody's taking advantage of me.
I do know that.
So I don't expect that you're going to be able to see it all.
No, I'm just saying when
but
we're
I'm not
together,
even
though.
saying just 2007. I'm saying also, what was it, 2011, 12 with the cigar bar.
That was lack of information.
Wait, I'm also saying when that bullying situation the second year happened with Day, right? You remember they did the little
and I still stand what I said.
Wait.
I still believe in what I said.
Wait. Mm-hmm. So then they did the little cyberbullying thing.
Mm-hmm.
And in Abu Dhabi, they're very strict about like the content and the way in which these people were posting things about Day. It was really out of hand. And so the people there, because of the country and what they believe in, they were like, you need to file a police report. Now, John said, these are kids. Do not file a police report. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to do that. But then I put it back on the school. I said, you need to make sure that XYZ is in place because this is ridiculous. So not even within that week, another girl took Day's stuff, stole Day's stuff, still talking all that junk. Some of the words that they used, she was calling Day an idiot, blah, blah, blah. So they still weren't handling business. And they were to me, I felt like they took advantage of the fact that we didn't take it as far as we could have. And so what did I do? I was late to work and I stood outside while people were getting dropped off because I was going to meet this little girl and her mom. I was going to go right up to this mother's car and tell her, look, these are the things that are going on and the school is not helping me. So I need you to understand so that, because this little girl was American. She was American and I already know that they already understood the situation. All I needed was to be able to see that mother. And I knew this girl used to get dropped off. Now, see, this is me again. I do not like being taken advantage of. And I feel like in this instance, Day, like I said, Day does not cry about many things. But when we discussed what was going on, this made her cry. Now, this made me into Mama Bear for real. And I did not end up meeting this girl's mother. But what did happen was one of the girls said, hi, Miss Kanika, how are you? And I said, I'm fine. They said, why are you standing out here? Day is in the school. I said, yeah. And I told her why I was out there. I said, I'm waiting for this little girl's mom because I need to have a discussion. She said, oh, okay, well, have a great day. She went in there and told them kids. And that girl handed that stuff right on over to Day and apologized and everything. And all they needed to know was that I was willing to go the extra mile.
Who needed to know?
Them kids.
You talking about kids, right?
Yeah, I am. And so this is what I'm saying to y'all. I understand that when I feel like I'm being taken advantage of, I am extreme with my strike back because I try really hard to be as manageable as possible. I try to be, look, this is what's going on. This is what I'm concerned about. But when people push me to the edge and they do not follow through, I can become, what is the word I want to call it? Not unreasonable, but
irrational.
Yeah. I can make some irrational decisions in response. And my defense is I really love my family.
She does.
And I really, really want people to be nice to my family. And if they're not, I understand this is what the world is. But if you go and you blatantly are disrespectful, then you must want some blatant responses. Like you must want something else from me. Now, y'all, this is now as we're talking through this right now, I'm recognizing how crazy it sounds, but at the same time, you're saying that it was a 2007 incident that I'm basing all this on, and I'm not.
Well, saying that incident doesn't go with me.
It does because
that isn't what you just said. You realized you done went too far, and you mad because I wasn't there with you.
Because I was standing out there trying to meet.
Because I wasn't with, like first,
but but I'm saying if the practice in the UAE is to file a police report, then I should have done it.
Okay, if you say so. I'll tell you this. Check this out. I don't care about look, I don't even believe in do as Romans do anymore because that sounds stupid. You gonna do something stupid because other people are doing other things that's stupid, and no, you do the right thing. I'm just saying. Mm-hmm. You gonna tell me a person who's been in education for 17, 18 years at the time, you're gonna tell me that because of my kids, I'm supposed to even if I didn't have kids, I could treat all kids like the best way I can, you know, their safety. Because of my kids, I'm supposed to have more safety. I feel like there's a cycle of life with kids. We're going to do the best we can to protect them. And what you did to me was extreme. And I was like, you didn't believe that. Look, I get the mama bear thing. I do. And maybe I didn't at the time, but this is what I do. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so I understand the education part. So I guess at the end of the day, it just comes down to the fact that I am willing to do almost anything.
Yeah.
And I live by the wish factor. I live by the wish somebody would.
No, she does not, because you know what? Check this out. I told you. You can wish all you want, but that don't mean they gonna come the way you wish.
Now, this is the thing. I recognize at all of my big age that some of these behaviors need to be corrected. However, before saying this, I didn't even recognize that any of those behaviors were irrational.
Really?
I didn't. Now, this is the thing. I would still stand beside him.
I know you will. But at least you kind of understand a little more.
At least now I get that part. And I never would have understood how you assumed that it meant that I felt unsafe. It's not that I felt unsafe. I feel like you let people pass too much. But safety, physical safety wise, I didn't. Look, I felt safe in a mug. Look, I feel like, you know, when you were on, did you tell that story on that driving podcast about how you were like, they don't know if we got a gun in the car?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Okay, yeah. So I operate like you do. Like, I'm like, they don't know what we got. I know that I got John in the car. And John. It
sounds good now, don't it? It sounds good now.
John would do some work. Wait, so do you want to tell people, maybe we'll just put in the comments that they could go listen to your driving podcast?
Yeah.
So he did an interview on something about, what was it called?
It's Driving with Drive With Us podcast.
Drive With Us, yeah. So he did an episode in there where he's talking about this situation I'm talking about. But John, you know, they don't know what we got in the car. I operate like that. They don't know what type of weapon I got in this car, and I'm speaking in terms of my husband.
I'm not willing to die anymore.
Right.
I don't want nobody to die.
But it was a funny episode. But I'm just saying, I'm very confident in your ability to protect me. However, those other things in the world where you let it fly or slide, you feel like it's not that deep.
I'm trying to flow like water. I've always been trying to flow like water.
Yeah.
And some things you won't allow to flow like water.
No, I'm going to stop that dead in its tracks. I am the dam, okay? Hell no. So, yeah.
No doubt.
So, I just learned. I learned a lot about myself just now.
Me too.
Okay.
That was awesome. It was. Hey, I learned a lot.
Now in this moment, I'm realizing it was over 90 degrees. I was in an all black abaya and I was standing in between two I was going back and forth between two lanes where people were dropping their children off in the morning trying to go to work. And I was ready to ambush a mother about how her daughter stole my daughter's headphones and called her an idiot. And I've learned a lot about myself just now.
And I love you. And I want you guys to know, look, somebody said, hey, man, I think this is going to be therapeutic for you guys. And I really do believe that because, you know, I just want you to know the topic we were supposed to talk about before we got on here was we didn't have one. We just show you this is how we do it. Like we walk and we talk about things. Sometimes, look, I'm not going to lie. I was a little afraid in that because y'all could hear my tone change and I was like, I'm hurt.
We was about to fight, wasn't we? I could see it. His spirit was just changing up in here. Okay.
But you know what? Look, we're both working because we want this to work like beyond just to work. We want it to be great. And we want to thank you guys for listening to another episode of Doing Too Much. Is there anybody or anything you want to shout out?
The lip bar.
Oh.
Did I talk about the lip
bar?
You
did.
Before?
You already did the lip bar, but you had there's a spot, I think, a boutique it's in East Lansing.
It is, but I don't know the name of it.
DBNK, we'll come up with it next time.
Yeah. Wait. So who I want to give a shout out to? I want to give a shout out to somebody though.
Inshallah.
Never mind. No, I don't.
Well, we're not going to hold you any longer. Make today better than yesterday. Don't worry about anything you cannot control. GATA, get after that action, or that action will get after you.
Boom.